Breathe in. Breathe out.
I was about to ask. What do you think about the lighting?
Oh, the lighting is good actually. It's really good.
Okay. And am I fine where I'm at? I'd like to think so. Yay! Hi! I come back with another video. It's been like a few months, maybe 5 or 4. We don't have to get into it. It's okay. So, I am going to be talking about something that I've been wanting to bring up and it has been requested of me a lot, but I also didn't feel like it was the right time. I'm also not going to get too much into detail of it at the moment, but I did want to touch on it. The reason why I wanted to touch on it now was because I'm running a competition on my Instagram, a giveaway actually, where I'm going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway on Valentine's Day. And the giveaway is for the workshop part of my job, where I'm going to be teaching English, teaching the winner how to start their own business in the beauty industry, but also how to create acrylic nails the way that I know how to do it, right? So even the beauty business management part is also going to be the way I've learned how to do it. So now the thing is, I also realized, I mean, obviously it's going to be a random pick out of who the winner is going to be, but I'd love someone who really wants to be a part of the industry, someone who really is going to be excited about learning something new in that much detail, and someone who would actually love to be a part of this, as opposed to someone who's just going to take it as like, oh, well, now I know how to do nails. I mean, if that's for you, well, yes, great. But I'd love to be teaching someone that really is enthusiastic about this and really wants to be a part of this. So then I decided maybe let me speak about my own journey as well. So this video, I'm really just going to be getting into my journey, getting to the point where I'm at right now, and then what keeps me going in the industry as well. From the very beginning, 2010, I started researching for different types of like side hustles, and I honestly didn't really get much. For some reason, I took interest in finding out how to do nails. I remember actually going to like different sites trying to figure out how much their nail courses are and stuff like that, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it or really get into it for the long run, but it just looked cool. I mean, I was 15, so it just seemed like an idea. Maybe let's try it, maybe let's not try it. So now we're going to this one place. I'm with my dad, and I tell him, I don't know where we're from and where we're going really, but somewhere on the road, I tell him that there's this one area that has this one shop. Maybe let's just pop in and see what happens. We go in there and they tell us that actually they're already running a workshop because it's 2010, it's the World Cup, so there's a whole month of kids not going to school. During that month, they want to take some of that time where they're just going to be teaching kids how to be doing nails. Our educator was in grade 12, so she was 18 at that time. And she was just doing that workshop of teaching others how to be doing it. And then in my class, it was a 14-year-old, me 15, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and then our educator, an 18-year-old. So that's how it started. I got into that workshop, which was quite tricky at the time because, I mean, I really wanted to learn, but now also my educator was Afrikaans speaking, and every now and then would step into that, and now I'm just confused because I don't know the language, but everybody else in the class does know it. And sometimes you're teaching in the language, sometimes you're teaching in English. So somewhere, if you're being told you're not getting the hang of this thing properly, what's wrong with you, it's also very confusing because it's like, which part did I skip? Did you say something that I didn't catch on, which clearly happened? So I did it for a bit while I was at school. Obviously, because of school, it won't be that serious, but I actually did start it at that time. By the time, in the same year, actually. Okay, so it was after the course, the workshop that I did, and then later on, we did aptitude tests at school. So in grade 9, we do aptitude tests so that they can help you like have a guideline of what subjects you're going to be taking for grade 10, because end of grade 9 you're now choosing subjects that you're going to be doing in grade 10. And you take the aptitude test, they help you figure out like your personality and what really you're about, and also the type of industry you're probably going to end up in later on. The very funny thing about this, from a young age you kind of really know what you want to do. The only tricky thing about it is the environment that you're in. So it will say one thing about you and you'll actually believe it and understand it. But if the environment that you're in says, well, everybody else there is doing something totally different, it might make it very weird for you to think you're capable of being in that industry, because now you're so accustomed to this specific industry and you'd actually rather be there. Or not, but you'd rather be there because it's easier to understand, because now you've seen it happen and you've seen it make money for your family in its own way. And you know, that then just goes easier for your brain to understand. Right, so I did the aptitude test. I only found the results last year, which is very funny because I only now, when I think about it, just after getting the results from the aptitude test, my dad was very much on my case about doing stuff that has to do with the business industry, and he kept on like trying to push me in that direction. But he was in a corporate environment and my mom was a housewife, so it was very confusing for me for him to want to put me in that industry when I was just like, but dog, that's not what you do, that's not what your girl does, so what what are you trying to talk about? You know what I mean? So honestly, I knew I'd want to be in it, but I also had no idea of anyone. I had no cousins, no grandmother, nobody that I knew that was in the business industry successfully, that I could also be like, oh yeah, actually I want to be like that uncle, or I want to be like that person. There was none of that for me. So now when he's trying to put me in that direction, it was also very confusing for me on that aspect. Right. The aptitude test comes back. It was a questionnaire, right? And the one has like a ranking. I don't know what the actual theme of this thing is, but low aptitude would be 1 and high aptitude would be 9. And they're ranking here on vocabulary, verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, calculations, comprehension, comparison, visualization, mechanical insight, and memory. And my highest ones here is comparison and visualization. Comparison, I don't know, guys, like, do you know how to explain why I'm really good at comparing myself to or listening to other comparisons? I don't know what, that confused me. I don't know what comparison. But anyway, I'm good at comparison. The second one then says it's, okay, this one is the field of interest. There's 10 fields of interest, and you're getting like a percentage of what you're really strong with, what you're average with, and what you're really low with. Number 10 is plants. I got 9%. Zoology 20%. Science 10%. That makes sense because science, wow. 7 practical 86%. Arts 34%. Linguistics 64%. Numerical 55%. Unless it's my bank balance, then it can't just be 55. Okay. Business 94%. Working with people in groups 84%. Working with people as individuals 64%. So out of all 10, my highest is business, which makes a lot of sense. I only found these papers again last year in like my dad's really old files, and I was just like, oh, this makes sense. Okay, so business, and then what? Work. Oh, practical. Yes, anything that has to do with my hands and creativity and whatever, I can function with it. And then put me in a box and I'm like really confused. Like, I just get confused. Working with people as individuals, and linguistics together, and then working with people in groups, and then practical, then business. And when I saw this last year, I was just like, yes, girl, like, you been knowing yourself since you was like 15, honey, or probably even less. And yeah, this is how we get to where we are right now. So another thing is, when you are meant to be doing something and there's something that is specifically for you, it's very difficult for you to also understand why you are that way when your environment is saying you shouldn't be that way. So my parents were very supportive of me starting in this industry. I think because I was so young, it was like so cute that, you know, your child is doing something extraordinary. You know, all the other kids are in school and yours is in school and has a side hustle type of thing. So I think it looked cute, especially because I was terrible at school. I literally was just like part of the attendance at school. I was not existing at school completely. So this did make me look good, but as time went by and they started seeing me turning it into a career, then it became problematic and they were not entirely happy with it because my dad is like really educated and been in corporate for like 30 years. Yeah, he was there for like 30 something years or 30 years on the dot. I don't know, 30 something years in corporate. Mom was a housewife. After that 30 years, my dad eventually left working in corporate and started businesses. But that was totally different because he started his businesses with like a really huge sum of what? And I started with none of that. I started with going to nail school. They paid for that. And after that, they left me to it. So however way I grew my business was then up to me and my clients. And I also had no like education regarding how to do my pricing or how to do anything that has to do with business. So it was just like really tricky for me at that point in time. But yes, that's what happens. That was my whole trail of how I got to the point where I'm at right now. Obviously, I continue to grow. I added the workshops where I'm now teaching other people. I've started vision board workshops as well, which is another sector, but it's a piece of me, I guess, where I'm now teaching people how to do vision boards and yeah, many other different things. I'm literally all over the place. I grew from that point in time, starting when I was 15, just going into the nail industry, doing only acrylic. But now it's just like a lot. What keeps me afloat in the business as well? So what keeps it going is remembering that our business, the beauty industry, is not a necessity. I'm trying not to be mean to myself, but like honestly, it's a luxury as well. You see it so much better if you're looking at it from the angle of what happened during the pandemic. Pandemic hit, people are losing their jobs and salary cuts as well. Now, if that happens and a person's now thinking buy bread or pay for my nails, bread, pay for school fees or get my hair done, cut my hair and put on my wig and pay for school fees. And then, you know, get a massage or just like take painkillers and I'll be fine because now I have bigger issues. Now, what will work for you as a person in the beauty industry is trying to find a way to put yourself as a necessity to the client and putting yourself in the client's budget. Because now the clients somehow, if they were not living under a budget and they were just like splurging their money, they got to a point where now you actually have to live under a budget. Otherwise, you're going to lose your car because you just keep, I don't know, spending money trying to maintain your hair. Or you're going to struggle with petrol to get to work because you were trying to get your nails done. Like, hello girl, stop to think. So then they create a budget. But that's where you come in terms of trying to put yourself inside a budget, which is a video for another day. Yes. Right. So there's those. But my main thing is passion for working with people. I absolutely love working with people. I am at work for fun. I am at work when I'm bored. I am at work when I'm trying to de-stress. I am at work. I'm at work when I'm not at work. I'm at work after work. I'm at work before I go to work. I just work to work, and it's not a burden for me. I don't have like a big social life, and I don't really even feel it because there's so much socializing going on in my workspace that I feel like I'm already, yeah. My workspace makes me feel like I'm at a party, and that's okay. That's okay. So it's your passion for working with people. If you are the type of person that thinks that just about everyone is rude and people just, you don't know how to speak to people properly, from the way that you're responding to their text messages when they have inquiries, to the way that you speak to them when they speak to you over the phone, to the way that you are with them, including your energy when they are in your space trying to get a service from you, it all says a lot. If you're not passionate about working with other human beings, your business will not stay afloat. It's just not going to work out. You need to be the type of person where a client has so many reasons for coming to see you. A client needs to think, I want to go there because her work is good, her work is neat, it's long lasting, she's just in a cool environment, I like the person that she is, I like the things that she speaks about, how she thinks, how she dresses, she my type, whatever it is. But you want to make sure that a client has a long list of things when it comes to the type of person that you are and the service that you're providing. That's what's going to make them come back, no matter how deep of a pandemic we are in. Because honestly, it like really went quite deep, and I really saw my business still thriving at I appreciate you guys so much. You guys, you as clients. I have clients for my sanity. That's it. If I didn't have clients, I really, honestly, in my head, it was just gonna like spin in the wrong direction. So my work is the reason why I can still think properly and function really well. So that's it. That's the type of information that I wanted to give you guys today, just to enlighten you on my journey from where I came from to where I am right now, and what keeps me going from here, because I'm going to be in this industry for a very long time, and many other industries, but this one specifically for a very long time, and this is what keeps me going over here. I really hope that it's going to help the next person and give you guys an insight, just so you remember that there's really what you want to do, and it's okay for you to stick to whatever it is that you're drawn to. It's okay for you to stick to that, and no one can take it away from you. You're going to thrive, continue to make money, because, don't be drawn to things that also are not going to make you money. Or be drawn to things and then make money out of it. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share. See you in my next video.